Welcome to Hooked on Wooden Boats, podcast episode number 206. I'm your host today, Dan Matson, aka Wooden Boat Dan. If you can't do it, nobody can. This is the world's first podcast fully dedicated to celebrating the art, craft, history, tradition, and romance of wooden vessels around the world. Thanks for joining me today. It's good to have you with me. It's been a while since I've done a podcast, but I'm back finally. And today is a special interview that I did last year with Doug Jones, who is the owner of Traditional Boat Works, builds and repairs wooden boats and spars. We did the interview on his 1947 Sparkman and Stephens 48-foot yawl called Pacifica. Gorgeous boat that he's owned for 20-some years. And the original owner of the boat was the brother-in-law to the owner of the Fuller Brush Company. And it's 48 feet long. I don't know if I mentioned that. Really cool boat. So we had a great time talking about Doug's boat and talking about wooden boats and talking about how to properly finish a wood mast, which was pretty fascinating, actually. I hadn't heard of this method. Sounds pretty cool. Anyway, you're going to want to stick around for the interview. Anyway, as far as what I've been up to the last couple months, I have been working on the scamps some. I'm working on the inside of the boat now. As you recall, I purchased a kit that was partially built, and all the enclosed storage / buoyancy areas had been epoxied but not painted. So I've been crawling into those spots or reaching into those spots, which some of them are pretty hard to get to, and sanding and putting on 2 to 3 coats of Rust-Oleum white gloss paint, oil-based. And that stuff's worked really good. So I've got the forward area between bulkheads 1 and 3 all painted up. And then aft, all the stowage area underneath the seat tops, I've got those all painted, at least as much as I can reach. I have finished the footwell, and I have finished the lazarette, which I added. And the footwell I cut into the boat. And now I'm working on the details of the centerboard. I had built the centerboard, and now I've got to add spacers to it because it's about a 1/4 inch narrower. The head of the centerboard is about a 1/4 inch narrower than the centerboard trunk. So I want a little bit better spacing than that. So I'm going to put a couple like wood spacers on each side of the head and epoxy those. And then I'm working on the centerboard trunk pin, get that to go in properly and stay in place and all that, which involves copper bushings and so on. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to actually add the rigging to the centerboard. And I've got some diagrams on how to do that. I won't be able to actually test the rigging until I've got the boat on the trailer because now it's too low to the ground to lower the centerboard down. But anyway, so I have been making some progress, folks, and this boat will be done one day. Other than that, I will be at the Wooden Boat Festival in Port Townsend, September 2018. I am going to be doing a class on Friday afternoon. It's around 12:30 or 1, something like that on the schedule. Called Sand Less and Sail More Boat Building Hacks for the Weekend Warrior. And there I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I do when I'm building a boat that can save you time or money or give you a better product. So just little tips and fun things. So it's not an advanced class by any means, but if you can make it, I'd love to see you there and come up and say hi, please. Okay, that's it for the intro right now, and I'm going to head over to the interview with Doug from Traditional Boat Works. Take it away, Doug. Okay, it's September 9th, 2017. I'm with Doug Jones on Pacifica. Doug, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been chatting here for a little bit about your boat. Now we're going to record a little bit. So tell me about the boat we're on here, Doug.
The boat is a Sparkman and Stephens yawl built in 1947 on the East Coast by Henry B. Nevins in City Island, New York. She was commissioned for a man named Avard Fuller, whose brother was the CEO of Fuller Brush Company. She's probably is one of the first boats built with an extruded aluminum mast. The mast up forward there is still her original mast.
So what does extruded mean? I don't know what that means.
Extruded means that it's been pushed through a die to roll it into a certain shape.
Oh,
so
okay.
It either starts out as a tube or as a sheet.
Okay.
And then it rolls through various dies and gets pulled into the shape that you want it.
Okay.
I imagine that this was started out as a tube and then they crushed it in or rolled it into the oval shape that it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've owned the boat for 20 years. The owner that I bought her from owned her for 20 years. And she's been on the West Coast since 1965.
Mm-hmm.
So we sailed her down, first 15 years we sailed her down in San Diego and Southern California. Made a Transpac race in 1999 out to Hawaii, and then sailed her from Hawaii up to the Pacific Northwest. Cruised her up here for a year, and then sailed her back down the coast.
Okay.
And when Debbie and I finally moved to Port Townsend, we put her on a boat trailer, and she came north in 3 days.
You put her on a trailer?
I put her on a trailer.
Holy cow.
So she's just small enough to get on a trailer
legal
without having to do a huge amount of permits and stuff.
How deep is the keel on this boat?
She draws 7 1/4 feet. On the trailer, the top of the boat is about 14 1/4 feet off the ground, which is right on the edge
fixed
of
keel, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, fixed keel, a little bit of a cutaway, rudder hung off the back end of the keel. A very traditional, typical boat design of the day.
Yeah.
So,
how was she constructed?
She's built as a Carvel planked boat. She's double planked with mahogany on the outside layer of the planking and Atlantic cedar on the inside, and the outer planks lap the seams of the inner planks, and then she has steam bent oak frames.
Steam bent oak frames?
Steam bent oak frames, yep.
Wow, so are the frames one piece?
The frames are one piece. They stick them into a steam box and steam them for probably about 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And that limbers them up enough that you can bend them into the shape that you need.
Yeah.
And then, when they start building her, they build a male mold basically, and then the frames get bent to that.
Oh, I see.
Actually, it's a female mold because the frames are bending to the inside.
Bend around the outside? Oh, bending to the inside.
Bending into the inside.
Okay.
So you set up station molds, which is about every 5 or 6 feet. That shows the shape of the cross-section of the boat.
Yeah.
That station.
Yeah.
Then you run rib bands, which are battens on the outside of those station molds. And that fares the hull out.
Yeah.
And then the frames are bent to those rib bands.
Okay. Say white oak?
White oak, yeah. And then the planks are put, the rib bands come off and the planks go on.
Oh, okay.
And then the station molds come out, the deck goes on,
yeah.
Interior goes in, and stuff like that.
What are the dimensions of the frames?
The frames are 2x2s basically, and midships, and the Sparkman and Stephens design firm was really trying to lighten the scantlings of the boats up to make them lighter and supposedly faster and all that. So they were using smaller frames in the ends of the boat, up in the bow and up in the stern. So really? Where they needed the strength, the heavier frames were.
Yeah.
And back aft, they're 1 3/4, and I think up forward they're 1 7/8 going to 1 3/4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
what size is she, Doug?
How big
overall,
is she?
Yeah,
she's 49 feet or 48'9" to stem to stern rail cap.
Yeah.
And then with a mizzen boom, she's about 51.
Okay. Yeah.
So small boat.
Yeah.
Not real big.
What's her beam?
Beam is 10'11".
Okay. So was she built as a racing vessel, basically?
No, actually, she was built as a cruising boat.
Really?
Avard Fuller, who commissioned the boat, was not really a racer, but he wanted a fast cruiser, so they designed him a racing cruising boat. Mm-hmm. Which doesn't mean she was a cruiser. I mean, she won her fair share of races.
Okay.
In fact, when she was 14 years old in 1961 or 62, she was racing down in Florida and the Bahamas in a series called the SORC, Southern Ocean Racing Circuit, and she won her division in I think it was 1961 or 62. And what I believe to be true is that she was the last wooden boat to do it.
Really?
After that, the fiberglass boats really took over.
Yeah.
So, but we're still.
You still race her?
We're still racing her. We're still doing well. We did a around the county race, which is around the San Juan Islands.
Yeah.
And we actually won our division in the second race in 8 knots of breeze.
Wow. Pretty light wind.
Pretty light. She does better in light wind than she does in heavy air.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did you race against Martha?
Yep.
Really?
We race against Martha.
She's more of a heavy weather boat, right?
Definitely a heavy weather boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever wins between the two of us, it really depends on the weather.
Really?
Anything over 10 knots, and Martha's going to be probably taking us. Anything under 10 knots, we'll take her.
Really? So this boat's about 50 feet, and Martha's bigger.
Martha is 68 feet on deck.
60, yeah. So she's a bigger boat.
She's got the waterline.
Yeah.
Our waterline is 33 feet. Hers is 48 feet. Or 33 feet. Hers is 48 feet.
Really? 15 feet bigger waterline because of the shape of the hull.
And she's potentially, it's the square root of the waterline is the
hull speed.
Hull speed.
Yeah. Right. So what's the rig on this boat?
The rig on this boat is a yawl, which was typical of that period. The rule at the time was the Cruising Club of America rule, and they highly favored, in their rating system, they highly favored the yawl rig. Mm-hmm. All the sails that were hung off the mizzen mast on a yawl were basically free. You didn't get penalized in your handicap for it.
Oh wow!
So yeah, there are a lot of Sparkman and Stephens boats in that time period were yawls, and that loophole kind of stayed in existence until the late 50s, and then in the late 50s is when the sloop started becoming more advantageous.
Okay.
So yawl is basically a sloop with an extra mast on the very back end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. Very cool. So, where do you guys take your cruising these days?
Last year we went up to Desolation.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a lot of cruising in the San Juan Islands. Eventually, we hope to sail around Vancouver Island.
Mm-hmm.
But we're pretty busy right now, so
yeah,
it's on the bucket list. It hasn't happened yet.
Really?
So.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah. So you're a boatwright, Doug.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the projects you're working on these days.
Well, I just completed a 81-foot wooden mast for a Sparkman and Stephens sloop called Orient that was built in 1936 in the Orient.
Is that a hollow Sitka spruce?
It's a Sitka spruce, hollow mast. It's actually a square section mast that we shaped to an oval shaped mast.
Okay.
So the basic construction looked like a box, and then we turned it into an oval. Tapered from about a third of the way up the rig to the top of the mast. So the largest cross section was 9 by 12. The top of the mast was 7 by 5, I believe. So it tapered pretty well. And we delivered that mast to Orient down in Southern California last January.
So how many scarfs do you have on the length of that mast? Were you able to get some good lumber?
We actually were lucky in that we found. I actually had bought and was drying long lengths of spruce. I had 30-foot lengths of spruce.
Really?
So, 30 and 40 foot. So we ended up with only 8 scarfs in the whole mast. So it's two aside on each face.
Yeah. You get some nice tight grain stuff to build it with?
Nice tight grain. We found a lumber mill up in BC, Canada that was willing to custom mill wood for us. So, we kind of put in a standing order of saying, if you can find any really good spar grade spruce, let us know, and if we need some, we'll buy it off you. Mm-hmm. So, and they're very good that way.
So you epoxied that together with West Systems?
We glued it together with the West System, and then it's a varnished mast, so it's, it was sealed with varnish from bare wood to, I think they ended up with 12 coats of varnish on it.
So no epoxy on the outside?
No epoxy on the outside.
So talk to me about that. I'm curious, because I know some people do epoxy, 2 or 3 coats of epoxy, then varnish.
The epoxy doesn't add any strength as a coat.
On the outside.
On the outside. It doesn't add any strength as a coat.
Yeah.
Some people like it because they believe it's more durable than the varnish. I'm very much favor the traditional varnishes because it gives you that nice amber color to the mast, and it looks like a old traditional wooden mast. Right. Some people like to put epoxy.
Gorgeous boat.
Thank you. Some people like to seal the mast with epoxy and then varnish over the top of it. Problem with that is that you don't really get a good bond between the epoxy and the varnish.
Oh, you don't?
You have to work at it to get make sure that you got it very well sanded. You're gonna have no shiny spots in the epoxy. Absolutely no shiny spots in the epoxy, because that's where the varnish will blister off. So it doesn't chemically bond. It has to mechanically bond. And if the epoxy is not sanded fully, it'll actually blister off.
So the epoxy's harder than the varnish, right?
Epoxy's harder than the varnish, and then that's one of the other problems is that if you have to strip all the varnish back off again and you want to recoat, it's really hard to get the epoxy off.
Okay, so this is good information for me because I just built a Sitka spruce mast, 14 feet for my little scamp sailboat, and it's Sitka spruce. I haven't finished the outside at all. Had kind of planned on epoxy and then varnish, but maybe I should just go varnish, huh?
I would. What we do is we thin the varnish down to about 40% with an appropriate thinner.
Okay, for the first couple coats?
For the first coat.
Yeah.
And it basically thins it down to the consistency of water, and it soaks into the mast.
Oh, really?
It'll soak into the wood.
Yeah.
It actually probably penetrate the wood better than just, clear coat epoxy.
Okay.
And that gives you a real good mechanical bond to the wood.
Really?
And then once you start, the next coat that goes on is thins 20%, and then 10%.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
Then you can do whatever you want.
So starting with the fourth coat, you just go to the straight.
Yeah, I mean, the
much?
first 2 or 3 coats you really don't count as coverage.
Okay.
It's just you're sealing it.
Yeah.
So, when I say you have 12 coats of varnish on the mast,
yeah,
it's
3 or 4 of those.
Not the first 2.
Oh, you're not counting.
You're not counting the first 2. Well, I mean, it's basically you thinned it out so much that there's not much left of the pigment and then the UVs and all that.
So once you get the first 3 coats on, you kind of sealed it, got a good mechanical bond. Then, how many coats you really need for protection?
You want to get at least 8.
Oh God, you're making me tired.
But I mean, it's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're
sand with 220.
You're sanding with 320.
320.
Or you just get those Scotch-Brite pads.
The green Scotch-Brite?
The emerald ones.
Oh, the emerald
red ones.
Oh.
And you just scuff it up. You do that
really?
with the first. Do that with the first 6 coats or 8 coats.
Yeah.
If you're going to go with 10 coats, then that's when you start trying to flatten the varnish out and actually make it look smooth.
Okay.
All you're doing before that is just trying to get build up on it.
Okay.
You just want to get thickness.
I see. Yeah.
So you get that, let it sit for 4 or 5 days or maybe a week before you start really sanding heavily on it. And then you sand heavy to start flattening it out. You get rid of all the brush strokes, any curtains or anything like that. And then you put your final 2 or final 3 coats on very carefully. And you're sanding between those to, you're finally getting that nice, smooth, glossy finish.
Holy cow.
So it's a bit of work, but, once you got it, it's actually pretty easy to maintain.
And with that many coats, it's easy to repair small sections, right?
Yep.
To just
well, I mean, that many coats, you've got a lot of UV protection. So you can actually let it go for 6 months to a year. On a mast, because it's vertical, you can probably get away without having to put varnish on it for a year.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I mean, you're lucky in that it's a scamp and that you
my mast is going to be my garage.
Yes. But in a wooden mast out on the out in the harbor or something like that, you don't really necessarily want to pull the mast out of the boat every year to varnish it and everything. So you're always looking for something or ways to make that varnish
more
last.
Life, huh? Yeah.
And the more coats you get on initially, the longer that varnish will last.
Yeah.
So one of the problems is if you don't get enough UV protection is that the sun will get through and get to that inner layer of varnish, and then it'll start blistering it off, and then you've got a lot of work to do. So that's why it's always worth it to get more varnish on than trying to cheap it out and do the minimal.
So are you using glossy Captains, or what are you using?
I use was it the Pettit flagship?
Pettit flagship.
Pettit flagship. I've heard real good stuff about epiphanes, but I'm not real good with epiphanes. I'm not practiced up on it enough to make it work.
A little different consistency.
Epiphane's varnish wants to go on thick. So you're not supposed to thin it very much when you're applying it. The problem is there's a fairly narrow window of how much thinner to put in and to get it to flow, and how thick to keep it so that it doesn't streak on you afterwards.
I see.
So if you thin it too much, it will streak, and you'll lose the gloss. If you don't thin it enough, it'll curtain and run and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think about using a matte finish varnish?
The interior of my boat's done with was done with a matte finish, and we decided that the gloss was better on the upper parts, and we kept the matte on the sole and stuff.
Yeah.
So
gloss is better probably for weather exposure?
Not necessarily.
No, just a different look.
It's just a different look.
Probably gloss is a little harder to get the nice look to. I mean, with matte, you got a little bit of wiggle room with...
Actually, I think people will say that the matte's actually a little bit harder to
really?
do. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
you're a gloss guy all the way.
I usually go gloss.
Yeah.
Matte is one of those that, if you don't, you got to keep it mixed up and stuff. So if you're trying for matte, and if you get a little bit of gloss in there, then it makes the whole project kind of go south.
Yeah.
And it's basically matte is a gloss varnish with a flattening agent in it.
Oh, I see.
So you got to keep it mixed up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So if you wanted, like my small mast, if you wanted to have a simpler finish, is there any kind of an oil or mixture of stuff you could put on it?
If you want a fairly maintenance-free mast, probably the best way to go is paint.
Oh, really?
Paint will last probably about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
But they have two-part varnishes, linear polyurethane varnishes and paints they're like an epoxy paint, and they'll last probably 7 years, but they're very, very picky about how you apply them. And they don't get, the varnishes are like water clear. They don't give you that nice amber look.
Oh, I see.
People have experimented with, varnishing and then putting the linear polyurethane clear over the top of the varnish, but you need to wait about 3 weeks to 4 weeks between the last coat of varnish and the first coat of the LP.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
cool.
And again, you got the problem is like epoxy. It's once you put it on, the LP is hard to strip back off again.
Oh.
So
right.
you do need to make sure you keep up with it because the repair is not easy.
Yeah. Right.
So
for a small rig like mine, you think probably varnishing's the best bet for my spars? Is it
a spritzel rig or what kind of rig is it?
It's a balanced lug rig.
Lug rig.
So you got a boom mast and a yard.
So the yard rubs against the mast a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Got a little leather on the mast.
And you're lacing. You're not lacing to the mast. It goes forward of the mast, doesn't it?
Right.
So you don't actually have a whole lot of chafe on the mast. So varnish would be good.
Mm-hmm.
If it were a fur mast, I'd say just oil it.
Oh.
The fur can take the chafe.
Oh.
Where the spruce is a lot softer and it doesn't take the chafe as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's a trade-off, Fur is heavier, spruce is lighter.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks, Doug, for being on the podcast today. This has really been fun.
No problem.
I kind of took advantage of your skills there. I may have to pay you a little something.
Don't worry about
it. So I wish you guys the best and have fun with Pacifica.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Doug, thanks for doing the interview. It was really fun to hook up at the festival last year. Got a lot of great information. Especially fascinating was the part about finishing a wooden mast or a wooden spar. So I wish you the best in all your endeavors. For those of you listening, thanks for tuning in. If you buy stuff on Amazon, you'd like to help the podcast a little bit financially. If you go to hookedonwoodenboats.com/Amazon and then make your purchase on Amazon, I get paid a small commission, which helps pay for the cost of the podcast. If you'd like to connect with me, you can email me at woodenboatdan@gmail.com. If you have comments, questions, or you're working on projects and you'd like to let me know what's happening with those, I would appreciate it. Anyway, hope you have a great week. Keep the bright side up and the barnacled side down. Wooden Boat Dan over and out. God bless.